Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We'll continue doing this section, which is about the basis and dimension. We have the basis and the dimension for a vector space. Basis means what? I have set of vectors where they specify two things. They are linear independent and they span the vector space. And the dimension is the number of elements in that basis. And we did many examples, and we have these three cases. If I have a vector space and the dimension of the vector space is equal to n, and I have S is a subset of that vector space, so I look at the number of elements in that subset. If it is less than n, then that set cannot span V, so S cannot form a basis. If the number is greater than n, then that set is linear dependent, so S cannot form a basis. If k is equal to n, they need to check. Usually we check the linear independence to prove that they form a basis. It depends on the determinant. We have also the basis for the solution space, like what we did in the last example in section 4.2, which was covered in the first exam. The idea is very simple. I will reduce the matrix into echelon form. Then I will identify leading variables and free variables. The dimension of the solution space with the homogeneous system is the number of free variables. How to find the basis? What I will do, I will write the leading variables in terms of the free variables and give it some parameters. Then I can get the vectors. And I think we did many examples about that. Now let me move to the old examples. Okay. The dimension. He wants only the dimension. He doesn't want he wants only the dimension. So what I have this system, A plus 2B equals 0, and C plus 3D equals 0. This is my system. And I have it A, B, C, D. I have the vector in R4, A, B, C, D. Okay. I have A equal minus 2B, and I have C equal minus 3D. So very clear. How many free variables I have? I have two free variables, which is B and D. That's it. That gives me the dimension right away. That will be the solution. If he want the basis, which is not asked, just this is enough for this question. But just for your information, I need to find the leading variables, which are A and C. So I write this vector A, B, C, D in terms of the leading variables, minus 2B and B, and the C is minus 3D. I write everything in terms of the free variables. I have B minus 2, 1, 0, 0, plus D 0, 0, minus 3, and 1. So this will be V1, this will be V2. This will give me the basis. Just for curiosity, will be the basis V1 and V2. So the dimension is 2. I'm getting it from here right away. Dimension equals to 2. No need to do the rest. The number of free variables. Find the basis for the solution space. Yeah, that's I need to reduce the matrix. I need to follow this procedure. Reduce the matrix, find the leading variables, and then I'll try to write the leading variables in terms of the free variables. Okay. So do the matrix. I have 1, minus 4, minus 3, minus 7. This is 0. I need to write that AX equals 0. That will be 2, minus 1, 1, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 11, 0. So multiply the first row by minus 2 and add to the second row. First row by minus 1, add it to the third row. Let me do it. Okay. I'm getting what? 0. Minus 2, 8 minus 1, that will be 7. Yeah. That will be what? Minus 6 plus 1, that will be 7 also. Minus 2, that will be 14 plus 7, that will be 21. 0, multiply by minus 1 and add, that will be 0. By minus 1 and add, that will be 6. minus 1 and add that will be 6, minus 1, that will be 18. So it will be my next step. Very clear. I'll multiply the second row by 1 over 7 and the third row by 1 over 3, by 1 over 6. 0. So you have 0, 1, 1, 3, 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 0. So now multiply the second row by minus 1 and add it to the third row. Now I have the I have the echelon form. Okay, so it will be the leading variables. These are, give me the leading variables. I have this is x1, x2, x3, x4. So leading variables, x1, x2, free variables, x3, x4. As we said before, I can make, yeah, this is not the only solution. You can do it in a different way. And they have what we have here. We have x1 equal 4x2 plus 3x3 plus 7x4. They have x2 equal what? Minus x3 minus 3x4. Now, I let t1 equal x3 or x3 equal t1. The other way. Let x3 equal t1 and x4 equal t2. So if you ask about the dimension, right away, the dimension is 2. So I'm looking for 2 vectors. Okay. Now I write x1 or x2. x2 will be easier. x2 will be what? Minus t1 minus 3t2. What about x1? x1, you need to be careful. That is 4x2, which is 4 minus t1 minus 3t2 plus 3x3, 3t1 plus 7x4. Okay, which is 7t2. So that give me what? I have minus 4. This is minus t1 minus 12 plus 7 minus 5t2. Correct? Yes. So my vector x, which is x1, x2, x3, x4, will be what? x1 is minus t1 minus 5t2. This one minus t1 minus 3t2. And this one is t1, this is t2. Take t1 common factor. That will be what? Minus 1, minus 1, 1, 0. What about t2? Minus 5, minus 3, 0, 1. So this is V1 and this is V2. What are the bases? V1, V2. Which if you wanted to write it, minus 1, minus 1, 1, 0. Oops. And minus 5, minus 3, 0, 1. That would be the basis. Okay. The dimension. خلاص. You want the dimension. No need to go more than this. I have x is y minus 2z plus w. Free variables. What are the free variables? Very clear. I have it x, y, z, w. So it is y, z, w. How many are they? 3. So the dimension equals 3. And x will be my leading variable. Okay. Find the basis. So I need to do the calculation. Usually this is the question. Find the basis. Okay. I will do the matrix. 1 minus 3 minus 9 minus 5, 0. I have ax equals 0. 2, 1 minus 4, 11, 0. 1, 3, 3, 13, 0. So minus 2 R1 plus R2 and minus R1 plus R3. Let us see what will happen. This is the first row, multiply by -2 and add, that will be 0. -2 and add, that will be 7. -2, 18 minus 4, that will be 14. -2 and add, that will be 10, 21, 0. That will be 0. -1 and add, that will be 6. -1 and add, that will be 12. -1 and add, that will be 18. Almost the same as the one before. I have 1/7 R2, 1/6 R3. So I have what? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. Now multiply minus R2 plus R3. Now give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. These are zeros. So now I have the echelon form. So what will be now the leading variables? Now this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, x4. Leading variables, x1, x2. Free variables, x3, x4. I'll let x3 be t1 and x4 t2. Okay, so from this one, I have x1 equals what? 3x2 plus 9x3 plus 5x4. And x2 equal minus 2x2 minus 2x3 minus 3x4. So x2 will be minus 2t1 minus 3t2. And x1 will be what? 3 times this, which is minus 6t1 minus 9t2 plus 9t1 plus 5t2. And that give me 3t1 minus 4t2. Correct? Yeah. So my x, I said x, هو x1, x2, x3, x4 will be equal to what? x1 اللي هو 3 to 1 in terms of t1 and t2, 3 to 1 minus 4 t2. x2 اللي هو minus 2 t1 minus 3 t2, and then t1 t2. Take t1 common factor, you have 3 minus 2, 1, 0. Take 2, 2, minus 4, minus 3, 0, 1. Like what we did before, that will be V1 and that will be V2. So the basis is V1, V2, which is this set. Is it the only solution? No. You can have a different set of bases, but the dimension should be the same. We have only 2 vectors. Find the base and dimension of the solution space. The same idea. Let us do it. I have AX equals 0. I'm talking about this solution space, this homogeneous system. 1 minus 3 minus 10, 5. 1, 4, 11, 2, 1, 3, 8, 1, 0, 0, 0. Very clean. Minus R1 plus R2 minus R1 plus R3. Give me what? 1 minus 3 minus 10, 5. That give me what? 0. Let minus 1 and add, that will be 7. By minus 1 and add, that will be 21. By minus 1 and add. Okay, be careful here. I need multiply minus 5. Sorry, this is minus 2. This is minus 1. This is minus 1. Yeah, be careful with plus minus. Okay, so that will be minus 7. Now it makes sense. Divide minus 1 and add, that will be 0. Minus 1 and add, that will be 6. Minus 1 and add, that will be 18. Minus 1 and add, that will be minus 16. Same idea. 1 over 7, R2. 1 over 6, R3. 1 minus 3 minus 10, 5, 0. Have 0, 1, 3 minus 1, 0. 0, 1, 3 minus 1, 0. Minus R2 plus R3. Give me this. 0, 1, 3 minus 1, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So what are the leading variables and the free variables? This is will be x1, x2, x3, x4. So the leading variables x1, x2, and the free variables x3, x4. Right away, for the dimension, it's equal to 2. But to do to find the bases, I need to do the calculation more. So I let x3 equal t1 and x4 equal t2. What will be x1? From here, let's write it here. x1 will be 3x2 plus 10x3 plus 5, no, minus 5x4. Yeah, minus 5x4. x2 will be what? Minus 3 x3 plus x4. It's minus 3 t1 plus t2. And that'll give me x1 يساوي ايش؟ 3x2 minus 9 t1 plus 3 t2 plus 10 t1 minus 5 t2. So that give me what? t1 minus 2 t2. So my vector x, which is x1, x2, x3, x4, will be equal to, let me list it. X1 is what? T1 minus 2 T2. X2 minus 3 T1 plus T2. X3 is T1, that would be T2 to T2. Take T1 common factor. You have what? 1 minus 3, 1, 0 plus T2. What is T2? Minus 2, 1, 0, 1. This is V1, this is V2. Bases will be V1, V2, which is 1 minus 3, 1, 0, and minus 2, 1, 0, 1. Okay. And the dimension is 2. Dimension is 2, very clear. Dimension is 2. Find the basic dimension of this space. I have ax equals 0. Yeah, the same idea. Let me do it, but be careful here. I have x2. Okay. So I have the system 1 minus 2, 3 minus 1. This is 0. I have 2 minus 3 minus 1, 1. This is 0. 1. This is 0. I don't have x2. Minus 11. 5. 0. So multiply the first row by minus 2 R1 and add it to R2. Minus R1 plus R3. Now what? 1 minus 2 is 3 minus 1. This is 0. But if I minus 2 and add, that will be 0. Minus 2 and add, that will be 1. Minus 2 and add, that will be minus 7. Minus 2 and add, that will be 3, 0. Do the second one now. Multiply by minus 1 and add, that will be 0. Minus 1 and add. Minus 1 and add. that will be 2. Minus 1 and add, that will be minus 14. Minus 1 and add, that will be 6, 0. So very clear. Now we'll have minus 2R1 plus minus 2R2 plus R3. That give me what? This is plus. This is will be the same. Now, multiply minus 2 and add, that will be 0. Minus 2 and add, that will be 0. Minus 2 and add, that will be 0. So this is what I have. So, leading variables will be x1, x2. This is x1, x2, x3, x4. This is leading. And the free variables, x3, x4. Dimension, no need to do anything, is 2. Very clear. The number of free variables. Okay. And they have x1 is 2x2 minus x3 plus x4. And x2 will be 7x3 minus 3x4. Okay, I let x3 to be t1 and x4 equal t2. What will happen to x2? It will be 7 t1 minus 3 t2. Okay, and that implies in x1 will be what? 2x2, which is 14 t1 minus 6 t2 minus t1 plus t2. That give me what? 13 t1 minus 5 t2. So my x as a solution, yeah, check the calculation. Hopefully I did the calculation correctly. Will be what? x1 13 t1 minus 5 t2, x2 7 t1 minus 3 t2, x3 t1, this is t2. Take t1 common factor. I have 13, 7, 1, 0. Take 2 1 factor. You have what? Minus 5, minus 3, 0, 1. So what are, this is V1 and this is V2. So the bases will be V1, V2 are 13, 7, 1, 0, minus 5, minus 3, 0, 1. And the dimension is 2. Dimension is 2. Okay. Consider the vectors. Find all values of A and B such that, oh, this set is not a basis. How many vectors we have? We have 3 vectors in R3. So they don't form a basis. I need to check what? Need to check the linear independent. They not form a basis means U, V, W is not linear independent. Is not a linear independent set. Because if it's a linear independent set, then for sure they form a basis. I need to check this determinant 1, 1, 2, 1, A plus 1, B plus 2, A minus B, A. I need this determinant to be equal to 0. So that they're not independent means U, V, W, this determinant is equal to 0. It's not a linear independent set. They are linear dependent, not independent. Okay, do the calculation. 1, 1A. Multiply by minus 1 and add, that will be 0. Minus 1 and add, that will be A. Minus 1 and add, that will be minus A minus B. Minus 2 and add, that will be 0. Minus 2 and add, that will be B. Minus 2 and add, that will be minus A. So that this determinant, which means 0, will be equal to what? Minus a square. There is a mistake. Like the first row by minus 1. Right. Yeah. I have 1, 1, 2, 1a plus 1b plus 2. Oh, this is 0. Sorry. Yeah. It's not a. It's like a 0. Okay. Let me do it again. It's a matter of calculation. Okay. This is 0. Until minus 1 and add, that will be 0. Minus 1 and add, that will be a. Minus 1 and add, that will be minus b. Minus 2 and add, that will be 0. Minus 2 and add, that will be b. Minus 2 and add, that will be a. So what I have, a square minus b square plus b square. A square plus b square is equal to 0. For sure, that means a equal b equals 0. So these are the values of a and b. So this is not the basis. Find the basis dimension. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, most of the questions here are multiple choice. Not multiple choice. Yeah, but recently we have multiple choice questions. Okay. Let me do these things. Find the basic dimension of the solution space for this system. Same idea. We have ax equals 0. So I have the matrix to be what? 1 minus 4, 3 minus 1, 0, 2 minus 8, 6 minus 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0. Then I need to multiply the first row by what? Minus 2 and add to R2 minus R1 plus R3 to get what? 1 minus 4, 3 minus 1, 0. By minus 2 and add, that will be 0. 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 0. Until minus 1 and add, that will be 0. Minus 1 and add, that will be 6. Minus 1 and add, that will be minus 3. Minus 1 and add, that will be 2. Is it? And that's 0. Let me double check. Minus 2, 1 minus, that's 0, 0, 0, 0, clear. Minus 1, that will be 0. That will be 6. That will be minus 3. And that will be 2. Okay. I can interchange R2 with R3 to get this system. 1 minus 4, 3 minus 1, 0. 0, 6 minus 3, 2, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah. Can divide by 1 over 6. To make an R2 to make it 1 easier to have fractions. Who cares? That will be 0. I have 1 minus 1 over 2, and I have 1 over 3. 0. I have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, very clear. Leading variables is what? So the leading variables will be x1, x2, and the free variables x3, x4. It's not coming. Okay. No. We have this is x1, x2. This is the column for x2. This is column for x3. It's column for x4. And what I have x1 is 4x2 minus 3x3 plus x4. And x2 is half. Yeah, calculation. x3 plus 1 over 3 x4. Yeah, only divide by 6. Multiply by minus 1, and that will be 6. Okay. No problem. So I let x3 to be t1 and x4 t2. What will be x2? Will be half t1 plus 1 over 3 t2. What will be x1? Yeah, now we need to be careful. For that will be 2t2, 2t1 plus 4 over 3 t2 minus 3 t1 plus t2. Yeah, that will be minus t1 plus 7 over 3 t2. Is it? Yeah. After t1, that's good. I'll plug it there. 2t1 plus 4 over 3 t2. Yeah, 7 over 3, and this is minus t1. Okay, so my x solution will be x1, x2, x3, x4, which I can write it minus t1 plus 7 over 3 t2, half t1 plus 1 over 3 t2, t1, t2. By the way, they are different solutions, but this is one of the solutions, because that is saying find a basis. Huh? T1 will be minus 1 half 1 0 plus T2. What is it? 7 over 3, 1 over 3, 0, 1. So what we have, this is will be V1 and this is V2. And the bases will be V1, V2, which is this. Is it the only solution? No. We can have any multiple of this. Okay. Let me do more problems. Find the basis and dimension of this subspace. Okay. Actually, I can deal with it like with only one equation. So I have what we have. We have x equal minus y plus 2z minus w. What are the free variables? They are y, z, w. Leading variable, the x. By the way, from here, what will be the dimension? Dimension is 3. Here I forget to mention the dimension. Dimension will be 2, which is the free variables, the number of free variables. They are 2. That's it. I write the solution. The solution. Oops. What happened? I have the solution x, y, z, w. Write it in terms of u and w. That will be minus y plus 2z minus w. You can write this is t1, t2, t3. Y is t1, z22. Or you can do it right away. This is x. The rest, since I need to write this vector in terms of these three variables. So I take y common factor. I have minus 1, 1, 0, 0. If I take z, I have what? 2, 0, 1, 0. If I take w, that will be minus 1, 0, 0, 1. Those will be my vectors. Oops. Yeah, those will be my vector. V1, V2, V3. So what are the bases? Will be V1, V2, V3, which are minus 1, 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, and then minus 1, 0, 0, 1. dimension, as I said before, it will be 3. The free variables. How many 3 variables? That will give me the dimension. 3 equals 3. Okay. Let me do more problems. Okay. Same idea. Why sometimes that's coming? I'm not sure. Okay. So the same thing, I will write it as x1 equal minus x2 plus x3 plus x4. So my vector x will be x1. What is the free variables? Yeah. Free variables are x2, x3, x4. Leading variable will be x1 in this case. So my x as a solution will be x1, x2, x3, x4, which is what? Minus x2 plus x3 plus x4, x2, x3, x4. I can take x2 as common factor. I have what? Minus 1, 1, 0, 0. If I take x3, I have 1, 0, 1, 0. If I take x4, I have what? 1, 0, 0, 1. That will give me, this is v1, this is v2, this is v3. And the basis is v1, v2, v3, which is these vectors. Yeah, I think this is very clear now. Yeah, dimension is 3, huh? Dimension is equal to 3. It's from here. No need to go if you want the dimension only. Find the dimension of this solution space. Okay. I have the system AX equals 0. Write it as a matrix. That will be 1, 3, 5, 4, 0. Only 2 rows. 2, 6, 5, 9, 0. I multiply the first equation by minus the first row and add the second row. I have 1, 3, 5, 4 by minus 1 and add that by minus 2 and add that will be 0. Minus 2 and add that will be 0. Minus 2 and add that will be minus 5. Minus 2 and add that will be 1. 0, 0. What will be my, yeah, I can divide by 1 over 5, huh? By minus 1 over 5 in terms of R2 to have what? 1, 3, 5, 4. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, minus 1 over 5, 0. Okay, it's fractions, okay. Now, this is give me x1, x2, x3, x4. What are the leading variables? Are x3, x1, and x3. And the free variables are x2, x4. Okay. And they have x1 is minus 3x2, minus 5x3, minus 4x4. And x3 is minus 1 over 5x4. Okay. Yeah. Plus, not minus. Because take it to the other side. That's minus, minus, minus. Okay. So I let from here, I let x2 t1 and x4 T2. So it will be x3 1/5 T2. And what will be x1? It's -3 T1 minus 5 times this is minus T2 minus 4 T2. Correct? Yeah, minus 5 multiplied by this 1/5 T2. It will be minus T2 minus 4 T2, which is x4. So that give me what? Minus 3 T1 minus 5 T2. Okay, so my solution, which is x1, x2, x3, x4, will be what? Minus 3 T1 minus 5 T2, 1/5 T2, T1, T2. Oh, don't. Yeah, be careful. This is x1. x2 is T1. x3 is 1/5 T2. And x4 is T2. Yeah, be careful. Huh? That will lead us to, this is, yeah, no, before that, let me continue. I take T1 common factor. I have what? -3, 1, 0, 0. I take T2 common factor. I have -5, 0, 1/5, and 1. So this is V1 and this is V2. I know here we have two vectors, huh? So the dimension is 2. What are the bases? Will be V1, V2, which is -3, 1, 0, 0, -5, 0, 1/5, 1. I hope there is no calculation mistakes, but the idea I think is very clear. Find the basis for all of this set of vectors. Okay. Yeah, so I have this. Be careful here. What are the free variables? Look, this is the list of vectors, huh? So what are the free variables? Are they B and C only? No. Also D. Because there is no restriction in D. The only leading variable, because that always try to find both, is A. D has no restriction. So it's free. It's a free variable. B and C also has no restriction. So it's a free variable. So the number of free variables are 3, not 2. Because there is no restriction in D. D has no restriction. D can be any value because that is free. It has no restriction here. B and C also, they are free. So the set, which is A, B, C, D, can be written as what? As 3B minus 2C, B, C, D. Usually I wrote now the things in terms of these free variables. So I take B as a common factor. I have what? 3, 1, 0, 0. I take C as a common factor. I have -2, 0, 1, 0. If I take D as a common factor, it will be 0, 0, 0, 1. So how many vectors we have? As a basis, we have 3 vectors. So this is V1, V2, V3. And the basis will be V1, V2, V3, which is this set. 3, 1, 0, 0, -2, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Be careful here. D is a free variable. I have no restriction in D. Okay. Yeah, let me reach until the what we chose questions. Okay. Find all possibles of A and B. Reach the vectors. How many vectors we have? We have 1, 2, 3 vectors. I have 4 vectors in R4. you want restrictions in A and B. What are the possible values of A and B for each of the vectors? Form a basis. Form a basis means the set. How many? 4 vectors in R4, so they are linear independent to form a basis. So you need to check them linear independent. So you need to check V1, V2, V3, V4. That should not equal to 0. Should not be equal to 0. Okay, so I need to find the determinant. That is 0, 3, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 0, 3, 3, A, B, 0. Very clear. I'll take which one? I'll take the third row. I take the fourth row because it has all zeros, right? Or I take the first row, maybe the first column, maybe better. Instead of take the fourth, I take the first column. So what we have minus 3. I cancel this and this. The rest is 0. Huh? So I have 1, 2, 3, 2, 0, B, 0, 3, 0. Now I'll take which one? I'll take now the third row, since I have more zeros here. So that will be minus 3, positive, negative, times minus 3. I cancel this with this. I have what? What is the A? 2, 0, B. The A gone, huh? Okay. You have A, 0, 1, 2, 3. Let me check 0, 3, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 0, 3, 3, A, B, 0. Okay, cancel this column. I can do the first column and the second row. So I have this 1, 2, 3, 2, 0, B, 0, 3, 0. It's okay. And then I have the rest. Now just I'm double checking. Okay. What is the remaining? I have 1. I'm casting now the second row, the third row, second column. 1, 3, 2B. Which is what? 9B minus 6. Yeah, B minus 6. That should not be equal to 0. Means B should not be equal to 6. Is there any restriction on A? No. A can be any value. So the only restriction I have, B should not be equal to 6. A can be any value. So A, any value. But B should not equal to 6. For this to form a basis, for this set of vectors to form a basis. Okay, let me do the last one before I stop this group of questions. Let me the subset, find the basis and the dimension. What is it? A plus 2C equal D. The same idea. What is the free variables? I can write it D. Yeah, write it D equal A plus 2C. So what are the free variables? Be careful. It's A, C, and B. No restriction in B. So B is free. B I can put it any value. And the leading variables, the leading variable is only D. You can write it in terms of A, you can write it the way you like it. But just now, let me do it in terms of D. So what will be the vector? A, B, C, D, or the element? The A, B, C, D, components of this element. A, make it A. Since I think of it as a free variable, you can make the free variable DCB, but you make it in terms of A. You can do it the way you like. But since it's ready in terms of D, I make it like this. B, C. And free variables, I don't know, I do nothing with it. Just I'll do the reading variable, A plus 2C. Now I take the free variables as a common factor, or as I said, I can make it A equal T1, C equal T2, B equal T3, or the way you like. That will be 1, 0, 0, 1 plus B, 0, 1, 0, 0 plus C, 0, 0, 1, 2. So what are my vectors? This is V1, this is V2, this is V3. So the bases are V1, V2, V3, which they are 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 1, 2. And the dimension, yeah, from here. Dimension equals to 3. Okay, let me stop here. I think we did a good number of questions. Now let me stop the recording. Thank you.